Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. We're going to get started. I'm Beth Marchetti, Executive Director of the DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau and the DuPage Sports Commission. To all the elected local officials, county officials, and state officials, we thank you for being here today to support our efforts on this remarkable new venue we have going on. Several years ago, I was introduced to this all-star team behind the FMC Natatorium at Ty Warner Park, and I knew instantly this was going to be a game changer for Illinois, for the swimming community, and for residents, as well as the tourism sector of the economy. The original purpose of today's meeting was to walk rights holders through the facility to showcase the spectacular amenities, the thoughtful layout, and the facility and the ability to welcome champions and championship level competitions. Months ago, we had scheduled several US sanctioned swimming and diving organizers to come to DuPage County and to do what's known in the Convention Bureau world as a site visit. Well, coronavirus forced us to change our plans. Today's virtual event was planned weeks ago, but due to overwhelming support of this project, the excitement for the facility, we went forward and we opened up to our local partners so everyone can get really behind this program. Thank you again to all. Few housekeeping tips before we start. I want to do a shout out to the DuPage CVB team for executing this spectacular event, all while working from home. So thank you to all of you. If you have any questions, the rights holders from Colorado, California, or anybody else for that matter, obviously we've all become very acclimated with Zoom. You can put your chat, your question in the chat box at the lower bar at the bottom of your screen in Zoom. We'll get to as many of those as we possibly can. Lastly, for housekeeping, I'd like to also send a warm welcome to our very brand new Illinois Office of Tourism Director, Carla Flannery, who was appointed by the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and who is a swim family. So welcome, Carla. DuPage has always played host to sports tournaments, sports events for over 100 years. Our name is synonymous with champions and championships, including polo to Medina Country Club, from USA weightlifting to USA cycling. We've hosted the BMW Championship, Ryder Cup, PGA, LPGA tournaments, and more. And now we look forward to welcoming our partners to the FMC Natatorium. DuPage is a premier destination at the crossroads of the nation, supported by 2 airports, 8 interstate expressways, and with a day's drive distance from over 70% of the United States population, we are primed and ready to welcome you. So located just 20 miles west of Chicago, with lots of upscale amenities, DuPage provides the perfect combination of urban sophistication and small town charm. We have a rich legacy of sports, as you know, in Chicago, and you can partake in those here in DuPage, from Mike Ditka's to Harry Carey's to Michael Jordan's, along with the 100 restaurants that we have right here in the village of Westmont. Plus, there's so much for families to do as well. So it's easy to see why DuPage makes the right choice for you, from 115 hotels, 16,000 hotel rooms, and many price points that you can tap into. So rights holders, please know that the DuPage Sports Commission and our team stand ready to welcome you and to provide any support outside of the pool. So as we stand here today, ready to welcome you, I want to share a little of our Do More for DuPage video. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mayor of Westmont, Mayor Ron Gunter, who is a huge advocate of recreation. So Mayor.
Thank you, Beth. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm not only proud, but extremely excited to welcome you virtually to the village of Westmont, and equally thrilled to call Westmont home to the new FMC Natatorium at beautiful Tidewater Park. I'd like to acknowledge and thank everyone in the village who worked to welcome the Natatorium and to have this come to fruition, including the Westmont Park District and, again, beautiful Tidewater Park. During this process, what became clear early on was that the Natatorium was a project from the heart, honoring the swim culture that so tightly connects families and enthusiasts across the country and across generations, while delivering the utmost experience for residents and families. It is truly a win-win for all. This facility will not only be important for swim lovers, it will be an important economic driver for our village and DuPage County, bringing guests through our doors of our many businesses. Westmont stands ready to welcome you and other visitors in the very near future. And now, it's my pleasure to turn it over to our founder and owner, Mary Ann Kaufman.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Kaufman, and I have been asked to share my story. People always ask why I decided to build FMC Natatorium at Tidewater Park. Some days, I often ask myself the same question. It has been a journey, but a labor of love, and we are now finally sprinting to the finish. First splash will be later this summer. So here is the story. My husband Mark and I founded Athletico Physical Therapy, and we were fortunate that it was a successful venture. We started thinking about how could we give back to the community we live in. That's where the FMC name came from, for my community, for my children, and of course, the initials of our 3 daughters. Our daughters were all swimmers, and because of the girls being so involved in the sports, we formed a relationship with other swimmers, other families, and our coach, Pierre Ruffin. Teaching our girls to swim, Pierre became a part of our family, and I saw how he had touched not only the lives of our girls, but generations of swimmers. And those swimmers all wanted to come back to see Pierre. So I started thinking, how cool would it be to have a place that coaches could call their home, and where their swimmers could always find them. There are so many great coaches out there, and so many good coaches that we're bringing to FMC, like Pierre, Coach Adam Cremio, and of course, Dave Krodiak, who has joined FMC as our head coach and facility manager. You'll get to spend some time with Dave on the tour today. So, the idea of building a pool was in my mind for a long time. I am passionate about swim lessons and giving all children early access to the water. Drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death in children under the age of 5. This is unacceptable, and children should have access to swim lessons. Our championship meets have been held in Wisconsin for the past 9 years, and that always concerned me. It was hard on families to go that far for a suitable facility. I hated seeing all those Illinois swim dollars leaving our state. So again, for my community came into my mind building FMC Natatorium and Westmont. We'll keep those swim dollars in Illinois and bring families to hotels, restaurants, and all the businesses in the area. We will provide jobs for local residents and become a strong addition to the community. We'll offer jobs for high schoolers, part-time jobs. These jobs are so important to the high schoolers. They can go to school and then come work at our facilities. We have exciting plans for the Natatorium. We will work closely with Westmont Park District, offering classes to residents and those in our neighborhood communities. We will offer swim lessons, infant swim rescue classes, swim team training, diving, master swim programs, water polo, exercise classes, and the list goes on and on. The pool is handicap accessible, and we plan to provide programming for children and adults with disabilities. We will have the seating capacity to host many events, including, but not limited to, IHSA state meets, NCAA Division III and Division II meets, masters and sectional swim meets. We have designed the pool with the intention of being able to host national level meets. We are so excited about all the possibilities ahead of us. So that's my story. And now let's get on with the tour of FMC Natatorium at Ty Warner Park. I hope you share my excitement.
I hope you enjoyed her comments and her message. It's really a passionate statement from the heart. Also, what you didn't see over those drone video is that much more that DuPage and the county has to offer. There's always over 90 restaurants in the area and over 30 hotels within a 15-minute. Also, our theater, shopping centers, and a wonderful downtown area of Westmont itself. There's a lot of fun to be had, from the pubs all the way to the fine dining, the little barbecue. One of my favorite places is Uncle Bub. With that being said, I'd like to have a couple of thank yous. And one of them is to the Kaufman family, Marianne and Mark. Not only is it a very generous project to take on, but the time and the effort it takes to be able to do this day in and day out over a 3-year period shows a true commitment to the community and the fellow swimmers that have surrounded them for decades, with their children being involved. I also would like to thank Mick and Sue Nelson, lifelong friends that have been around us for many, many years, but I've known them for 3 decades. Mick doesn't think that I would listen to him all that much, but I did. He built his own pool. He became a head of the build-up pool with USA Swimming. And without Mick and Sue, all the special touches and some of the things that they had the influence of us doing it the right way. These things have come out more so in these times, in our new normal. And as we go through the facility, I think you'll recognize some of those. So let's go to the competition pool.
So we're leaving our lobby right now and walking into the competition pool. As you can see, we have amazing deck space. We know that this is very important when we have competitions, that we have room for our athletes on deck. We also have, on this side, we have 2 locker rooms, men and women's. We have showers that are on the wall, and you'll see some of them on both pools. So we'll show you a close-up of those. So that's very important now with safety, rinsing off before we get in the pool. Also, if you could see around the deck, we have big black squares. Right now they have plastic over them, but this is our great HVA system. Air Quality has put that in. AMSCO Engineering was the designers. All of those are vents in order for us to make sure that our air quality is better than the best. So we have really spent a lot of time on that, making sure we have a great facility. Competition would be great if everyone can breathe well. And we all know as swimmers how important that is. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Dave for him to share a little bit more about the competition pool and some of the rooms on the other side that will support that.
Thanks, Marianne. What we have out in front of us is a 9-lane, 50-meter pool that can also go 20 lanes cross course. We're at a stage of development right now where the trench drains are being put in and the starting block platforms are starting to be able to be drilled in to be able to anchor into them. Also, as they start moving forward and pull and grinding down to a smoother surface so that the liner can go in, that is also with Murtha. We also will have Omega and the electricians starting to put the underground system all along the deck. We have 2 head walls that are at the ends, and those are up about a foot and run about 5 feet wide at both ends of the pool. And in the middle of the pool, we have 2 bulkheads that are also Murtha. So beautiful flywheel that's on those that are easy to move, so the swimmers don't have to hop in the water to be able to do that. But that gives us a lot of variety of programming. And that was one of our goals, to be as versatile in the building as possible. So we can set it up for 2 10-lane courses, going cross course. We could go 8 lanes. We can go 25-yard courses lengthwise and 25 meters. Both bulkheads slide down to the far end wall because we have diving boards at this side. We have 4 diving boards, 3 1-meter boards that would be directly out in front of us right over here. So we have 3 1-meter boards and a 3-meter board. The deepest part of the pool is 14 feet, and it moves to the right at the start end to 11 feet. As you move from right to left, we go 11 feet to 14. And by the time you hit the slope, not quite at the end, it's 10 feet deep. That means in a cross course, when you're racing, the shallowest lane is 10 feet deep. As you move down the pool, the shallowest is 8 feet deep at the opposite scoreboard end. There's foot ledges throughout the pool. And deck space is 19 feet on both sides, which provides us the ability to have flip-up bleachers that are 3 and 4 rows. Depending on what the event is, whether it's swimming, water polo, synchro, we can adjust those viewing and seating areas to accommodate any kind of event. On the deck, I would imagine we have the capability to about 600 athletes to 700 athletes. But if it becomes a little bit cumbersome, we took an idea from University of Iowa, which was at the far end that the staircases, you're able to move from the deck level up into the stands. So we can section off the seating area upstairs to about 60 to 70 on each side and move some seating around to be able to accommodate the best viewing for our coaches, our athletes, and spectators. We all want the experience to be the best for anybody that attends, whether it's practicing, training, camps, or a big time event. So let's move down the pool. We'll head towards the training pool. And if there's any questions, I would love to answer those.
Hey, Dave, we got one question here. You were talking
Yes,
about there being about 600, 700 athletes in there at one time. And they were just wondering, what does the parking look like over there?
Well, the parking lot is very friendly. We have over 300 spots directly on the site. There is 200 spots directly across the street at Ty Warner Park, and another 70 that are probably about 400 yards away. On the street, there's another 125 spots. We have a wonderful relationship with Oak Brook Hills Hotel, which they are going to be a tremendous partner for us. And how does that work? Well, they have a golf course. It's a resort. It's a wonderful place to stay. It's fully renovated at this time. But what also they've described is that they're willing to shuttle our guests from their facility to ours and also the downtown area. We couldn't ask for a better partner in the community.
That sounds amazing. We have another question here too. Why did you choose Westmont for the location?
The reason why we chose Westmont was that we originally were going to put it on Oak Brook Hills Hotel. And after some trials and tribulations, in a constant working relationship with the village of Westmont, this opportunity became a reality. So when we looked at a spot, we wanted it to be convenient with all the things that we have already talked about, because those are the things that athletes, families, and coaches all look for. We also love the idea of being across from a park. There's a 1-mile running course around the entire circumference of the park. There's a splash pad, there's hills, and I've lived in this area for a long, long time. It was one of the most generous things that Ty Warner did, is donate a wonderful park to the community. And now we have a swimming pool to accommodate it or complement it.
We have 2 more questions here. I don't know if you guys are ready to 2 or more, but if you'd like, I can ask another one.
Sure, please.
Awesome. Okay, so another question here is, do you guys know when we'll be getting back in the water?
Great question.
Do you want to answer?
No, you can answer it.
All right, so this is a common question answered by everybody. And I first would like to say that I really do appreciate the time and effort our government officials put into every single day what they have to handle. This is above and beyond, as we all know. So we have a situation where they're trying to open up, everything being safe, and they're getting around to us hopefully soon. We hate being out of the water, and for a lot of different reasons, but we don't really have a seat at the table currently right now. But I can assure you that when it does, my colleagues in the state and outside of the state have had plans in place with the athletes in mind and the safety of their community for over 6 weeks. We are very eager to open up.
I've got another question here. How many water polo courses can you fit in the competition pool?
I can put in 2 water polo courses. So the bulkheads move to the center, just like for 2 25-meter courses. And the wonderful thing that we're able to do is that we put stanchions in the bulkheads. And so we can put up a barrier of like 6 feet in between the 2 courses. The water polo nets are collapsible and they fit in the water. And they're FINA regulated, and the courses are set up beautifully with the help of mechanical ink. Yeah, give me one more. But you know what? One thing I didn't talk about was sanctions that are on the deck. We have them up and down on the sides, and that's a very important part, because we want to be able to have a barrier between coaches and athletes and officials. So our fine officials that are dedicated and committed to our sport can walk freely in a 3-foot area off of the poolway, unobstructed, and we really thought that was important for those fine folks.
So we still keep getting a bunch of questions coming in, but you said one more, so I'm going to give you one more here. Oh, sorry, it keeps moving so fast. We're getting so many questions. How fast will the pool be? They said we all know some pools are faster than others.
Well, I guess this is where I get the personal touch from my side of it, and influenced by many of my colleagues that have built pools. And so this isn't something that I just simply dreamt up. You know, if I don't have an answer, I go out and I look for it. So I called up my buddy Dave Ferris out in Long Island, and he had just completed a pool, a magnificent pool out there. And I asked him a question: what was really important to him? And one of the things I asked him was also with the jets, side jets or bottom jets. He said, really, Dave, for a purist, you got to have bottom feed jets. There's no question that there's no turbulence within the pool. By that, the depth of the pool speaks of speed all the way through. When you're moving from 8 feet to 14, back to 11, there's very little reverberation from the bottom back up to the surface. Every elite swimmer knows that still water is the fastest swim to be able to compete in. So you get ahead in the race and you're in the spine pool, there's going to be some records out here.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave.
All right. let's move on. Mary Ann, this is one of the favorite parts of the pool in the whole facility. There's 70,000 square feet of this building, but this is Mary Ann's love coming up here.
Yeah, so
This is our small pool. We call it our training pool. It is one of my favorite spots. As you can see, we have showers on the wall. I talked about those a little bit in the competition pool. We have 2 sets of these on our training pool as well. We felt that when we have little kids in swim lessons, we can run them through the showers before they get in the water, and we can run them through those showers before they go to their parents. They don't need to be soaked up every single time they're in the pool, but they do need to get that chlorine off of them. So those were strategically placed to help out all our parents that bring their kids for swim lessons. This is a 8-lane pool, and Dave will get into it a little bit more, but the first lane is my favorite lane. It's shallow at 3'6" all the way across, and that's mainly for our swim lessons. We have these amazing stairs that take us into the pool, and these stairs are great for young children, elderly, people with disabilities. We will have a disability chair right here, and easy access to get in and out of the water. We'll be doing a lot of infant swim resources out of this pool, and we also are going to be teaming up with Cast Water Safety, and it's a non-for-profit that trains instructors in order to teach infant swim resources. So this is something that's been really important to me. Drowning is an issue. You know, under the age of 5, accidental drowning is the #1 cause of death in children. And you know what? We want to make a difference. We want to be able to offer some special programs with preschools in the area. And that is one of my passions for building this pool. But I will let Dave talk a little bit more about this pool, because this pool did start out only as a 4-lane pool. And Dave had some convincing to do on that one, and we did change it. So over to you.
All right, this is where, once again, where generosity really comes into play into a facility. And so when I got bored and started looking at the square footage, looking at events, and looking at different styles of events, it became very apparent to me that we needed to go from 4 to 8 lanes. And it did a bunch of things for us. While we're running a 50-meter competition, that allows us to be able to have athletes warm up and swim down. It allows us to be able to run continuous programming when that's not involved, and the patrons are at the far end at the competition pool. So in other words, we can continue running lessons, having practice, and the day-to-day operations can carry on. The other thing that happened over a period of time is that the pool got slightly deeper at the far end. So it's 3.5 feet along the length of the wall on the side. And that's a little bit untypical. Usually it's at the end, but we wanted it to be a little bit deeper as you went towards the opposite end. And so it's 4.5 feet deep to 6.2 feet deep. That allows us to be able to have fluent running starting blocks. So we have Spectrum starting blocks on the cross course and in here. They're identical with the Murtha top. They also have wedges on those. The blocks also are accommodated in all pools, including this one, with backstroke wedges. You rarely see that. So we have 22 backstroke wedges that are in the facility. In the opposite course, I'm going to bounce around here just a little bit. We had Murtha blocks that are on there. So it's a Murtha platform block and a top. And it has a mega reaction port, RBDs on there. So in this pool itself, if you look at the beautiful tile that's on the floor, this is a little bit unique. It's 1 foot by 2 feet wide, length and width, and that will be also in the main course. A lot of pools you go to are only 1 by 1 tiles, and those are inches, or 1 by 2. We wanted to have something a little bit different that ran through the locker rooms, the small, and the main pool. When you go into the lobby, those are even bigger, but we'll leave that for your imagination. As you move over, there's plenty of glass throughout the whole building. We wanted something that was refreshing, very well lit, and inspirational. So what you're viewing is one small light in here and all natural light that's coming in, and it's a little bit overcast. And that was the same thing in the main course, that the foot candles in here are all LED in all aspects of the building. It's around 40 in here, which will make it very, very bright. In the main course, I'm going to talk about that when we get upstairs. I'm going to leave you hanging. There's going to be targets also that will go widthwise. So when we have some swimmers that are 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe 25 yards is a little bit too much. This course is 60 feet across. It gives them a little bit more of a fighting chance. Marianne?
I'll take it from here. So over here we have the parents' room. This is where our parents can sit and watch their children taking swim lessons. So we welcome parents to watch what their kids are doing in the water. And we're going to walk this way into the hallway, and I'm going to show you what else we have in store. So as I enter this hallway, we have 2 family restrooms or unisex restrooms for dads that have little girls and you need to shower them off or get them changed. You can come into these restrooms here. There's 2 of them. At national meets, we'll be able to do drug testing out of these rooms. Somebody stands in the hallway and the athlete goes into these restrooms and they're monitored. So once we come around the corner here, obviously we're storing some tiles in there right now. And then this is where you would enter for the parent room. We also have all our friends here from the FMC Natatorium. But this room is a nice room, and during swim meets, we use it as a staging room. So our athletes can come in here, they can take a little rest and get ready for their final meet. We line them up and then we bring them out to the deck in the order that they're gonna go up on the blocks. So a lot of the facility was meant for use during the week for our community, and then on weekends when we have a swim meet, we have dual usages for all of our rooms. We're going to go into one of the 4 locker rooms just for you to get an idea. We have our no slip tile all the way through, and then as you come into this locker room, our lockers have gone in, our benches are in, our sinks, our mirrors. So this is exciting. Bathrooms are ready to go. We have our stalls all in place. This is our boys' locker room. And then they finished putting in the stalls in our shower as well. So this is our showers. So we're excited about getting all our locker rooms complete. So this is one of them. We call them the boys and the girls locker room. They go on the small deck. There's an exit on the other side that we came in on, and that is how the kids would enter onto the pool deck. The same thing occurs, you know, off of our lobby. We have men's and women's restrooms that are similar lockers, seating, tile, everything. But the men and women's goes out onto the competition pool. So we have 4 locker rooms total. Each locker room has close to 100 lockers in them. We are getting ready to head upstairs, but before we do, we want to introduce to you Dave Sims, a wonderful guy. He loves swimming. He's passionate about swimming. He's a great friend of ours, and we're excited that he's so excited about what we're bringing to the community. But I'll let Dave take it from here.
I hope you're enjoying the tour with my friends Marianne and Dave. I'm David Sims, and I'm a lifelong Illinois resident, swimmer, and aquatic enthusiast. I started swimming in 1970s in Joliet. I gradually worked my way up to becoming Illinois high school state champ, and eventually went on to become a member of the U.S. national team and the U.S. Olympic team. I'm here to tell you that the FMC facility is going to create opportunities for thousands of residents of Westmont, DuPage County, Chicago area, and Illinois as a whole. And it's going to enable people to learn the very important and lifelong skill of swimming safely. That's key, it's critical. For those who want to do more than learn to swim, the FMC Natatorium is going to provide a glorious environment for exercise, training, and competing. It's even going to be ideal for spectators, with comfortable seating for over 1,000 fans, which no other pool facility in Illinois has or can offer. I still swim on a regular basis as I believe it's a fantastic form of exercise and enjoy the social aspects of being surrounded by like-minded aquatic enthusiasts. My master swimming friends and I enjoy competing, and we look forward to training and racing at the fastest and most beautiful aquatic center in Illinois. I'm also going to enjoy spectating. There is no greater thrill than watching homegrown athletes from age groupers to Olympians break records. It's truly inspiring. I can guarantee this aquatic center is going to host thousands of new records. It's that great. Hats off to Marianne and Dave for setting a new record of their own in Illinois aquatics for getting this facility built. Now, back to the tour.
So this is what I call a room with a view. No matter where you're at, it is absolutely awesome. And we did a lot of analysis prior to construction. So no matter if you're even sitting at the far end, the view at the start end is amazing. So from up here, you can, one of our biggest pet peeves is that you couldn't see like lane 1 or you couldn't see lane 8 in most pools. And here it's lane 1 and 9. So we made sure that we pulled back. There's not 24 inches between seats, but it's 30 inches between seats. The view is right through the glass and a very discreet metal piece that goes on top of it. You don't even notice it, and you can barely even see it from the other end. If you look up above, you're going to see some fixtures that are all wrapped in plastic. Those are absolutely wonderful fixtures. They reflect upward and then back to the stands. So it covers throughout the whole, there's no dead spots. It covers wonderfully upstairs and downstairs. But as you notice in here, this is all natural light that's projecting on through here. It's 30 feet from the deck, pool deck, up through the trusses. It's 15 feet from the floor deck, up in the balcony, up to the truss. Now this is really important, and this is again one of my suggestions and Kaufman's generosity. The building actually elevated 3 feet. And so you have a very open feeling to it. $3.5 million was spent on the ventilation itself. And along with that, we didn't feel it was good enough, so we added 6 big ass fans. I've been waiting to say that the whole time. Again, big ass fans. Every swimmer and adult that watches a swim meet always asks for these in a building. And so we thought it was really important for us to be able to put those in. One more thing that we tried to do to go over the top. Up in this level, you have 11 feet that is from the back of the seat to the wall. There will be a tech countertop that runs all along the edge. So you can plug in your devices, you can plug in your computer, and then you can also do that at the far end. What we also want to do is we're going to put in pub tables or high top tables that will go the perimeter an L shape, but not at the far north or south end where there's no windows at. That walkway is a little tight for that, so we'll keep that off and maybe have a wall of fame. At the far end, as we go and we look at the pillars, there'll be a scoreboard that's 12.5 feet by 40 feet, 5mm board provided by Bivalet. And I have to say that working with Greg has been absolutely a pleasure. The Bivalet and the kind of Omega system and that they have steered us and helped us, and ultimately in the end be able to get what we want, helped us with pricing to be a little bit more aggressive with our products, and we deeply appreciate that. As we talk about running a meet, at the far end, there's a hospitality room, there's an on-deck bathroom, hospitality room, a meet management room. Both those rooms are 17 by 34. There's a lifeguard office. There's a coach's office. I think that's where I'm going to hang out a little bit. And there's one more office that's right below us. So no matter what office you want to use during a meet, I've been at Pro Series meets where they love one spot over another. We're looking to accommodate that. We're going to drill through the concrete at the far end and in each of those offices so you can run TV cables and your devices easily out onto the deck. all the deck plates that I've put in by Omega are all sub-ground and plug into the side of the walls. We can start from this end, or we can start from the far end, but it's all on this side. That's over here.
We should take questions.
Down at the bottom, where we came out of the training pool, you can walk way this way and show them a vision over here. It will also show the training pool. And in the training pool, just like the MD, there'll be a glass wall that will be over there. And plenty of ventilation draws down low. So there's 6 vent draws on the south side and on the north side to pull air all the way through. So can we take some questions? All right. You know what, before we do that, I would like you to take a view of the park from up here. I did brag it's a room with a view. So there's your parking lot that was to the far right. And as you move across, you'll be able to see not only Ty Warner's building, but also Oak Brook Hills Hotel. There's a splash pad that's in the park also. And as I had mentioned before, a 1-mile course that runs the perimeter of the park. Can I please take any questions, Bob?
Yes, definitely. We've got a few here. So there was one from earlier. I like this question. How many athletes is the deck designed to accommodate in that pool?
You can hold 600 athletes on the deck easily.
Okay. And then when you were talking about the board earlier, someone asked, is it a video board or a swim board?
It's a display board. So it's not just you can show movies on there. You can split the board 8 different ways. The versatility on the building and on the board is to do whatever you can imagine. So you can watch lanes as they come in, and you could be watching a video of a past race.
Another one here. Will there be on-site concessions?
We're going to get into that area, so we're going to hold off on concessions for right now. But yes, on this level, and Marianne's going to talk about that in about 5 minutes.
Okay, and then one last one. Someone was asking if you could tell the audience here a little more about the hospitality room and kind of what entails with that.
So in the downstairs hospitality room, there is a separate little room that we have a washer, dryer, freezer, refrigerator that's in there. We'll have hot plates in there. It won't have a stove that will be in there, but that can either be for generally for coaches and officials that are in there, but we can also disperse that into other areas in the downstairs. So we plan on having great concessions and hospitality. Bobby, I got to ask a question. Was that an official that asked that?
I couldn't tell. It was asked anonymously.
Okay.
I have another one here. Is David Sims married?
He's happily married. You know, when it was cut out, we were saying he was a good friend of ours, and I thought we were rolling for a while, but you know, I want to make sure it's mentioned that he's an Olympian, a record holder. He's an amazing swimmer. I had the privilege coaching his oldest son, Bert, and so he has 3 daughters and a son, and they were not only great swimmers, but great people, brought up the right way.
One more question here. Will there be a gear store on site? somewhere to purchase all your gear?
Well, we're going to go to that part of the building. It sounds like a lot of the questions are going to get answered as we go into the next stage. All right?
Sounds
So
good.
before I hand it off to, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say if you had any closing remarks before we.
Well, up here in this area, from the back at the start end, there's 25 feet from the back of the seat to the far wall. And that gives us the ability to be able to run 3 stages of dry land. It gives us an area in which we can put banquet and pub tables up. It also, an area where we want to isolate more around the short course pool at this end, we could put elevated scaffolding seating in through here. So we would move our seating from the far end down to here, and we could have it a little bit more of an intimate setting. Do you have another question, or are we good to go?
You guys are all set to go.
Okay, Marion.
Right.
You
All
actually
right,
answered a few questions.
Okay. Okay, so we are now leaving the seating area and we're going to start heading into our air-conditioned area because obviously this is the pool, so it'll be a little bit warmer and more humid. And as we enter over here, the first room we're going to see to the right is our concession stand. So this is our concession. We have a party room or our concession room that is being built out right now. This whole corner will be glass. So it will be a nice lit up area here in our dry land area is what we call this. We have 2 restrooms, men's and women's, and that is for everyone who is here for a meet. We have water coolers going in. And we also have this big space here that we would use for agility training. Uh-oh, can you hear me? So we have some dry land space here where kids can do agility, and we have these amazing windows. Again, an amazing view of the park over to the right. This is our parking lot. Our majority of parking is on this side of the building, which is our west side of our building. And then on the east side, we also have some parking as well. As you can see, GA Paving has been working on our parking lot. We're excited to pave that in another week or so. So coming along nicely. So right here, as I enter, this is a weight room. So this is going to be one of our weight rooms. Our athletes need to do some training, dry land training. They're in the water a lot. And this is mainly going to be used for all of our athletes. And we'll be walking into that. Also, if we come around this corner, you will see that we have a store. And this is where our local vendor, Urban Tri-Gear, a Westmont business, will be coming into our building, and we are excited to have them in our space. So this will be our Urban Tri-Gear, local Westmont business that will be moving in here, supplying all of our athletes with swim gear, water polo gear, anything they need. They're a very athletic family. They're swimmers as well as triathlon members of our community. And as you can see, there's a lot of glass on this swim shop. So you can see it from our seating area as well. It's a beautiful space. We're excited to have them join the FMC Natatorium team. So that finishes it off for that area. Now I can take any questions if I missed something.
Wait. Before you do that, you're going to have to, like Eyewitness News, follow me. I've got to show you an area. You got to come over this way. I can't believe that nobody asked this question. I'm actually embarrassed for our state because it's the most asked question of anything that I get. And you know what that question is? 3, 2, 1. The high school state meet. What is happening with the high school state meet? And I can tell you that we have a bid in, all right? We actually we're the provider, all right? But we have a wonderful relationship with the high school association. Craig Garber has been one of the most open-minded individuals as far as having the best for all the athletes in Illinois. And finally, that's coming to swimming. I can't thank Evanston and New Trier enough for the years of dedication and commitment by their coaches, their ADs, and their staff. To be able to take this on is really something. And they've led the way of tradition. We hope to mimic everything that they've done and just provide a deeper facility and a better spectator for the people of Illinois. Daniel Jones has led the charge, and he's from Hinsdale Central, and Art from Hinsdale South, both ADs. They have been absolutely wonderful at the meeting tables. Great ideas, willing to compromise, looking forward, taking information. It's just a difficult time. This decision probably would have been made in April. They would have met in March and been done with it in April. But these are trying times for everybody, including them. This little spot here is for my little boy, Skylar King, right there. Skylar, you're gonna be right here. We got a little bit of a hookup for you to be able to do. For those of you that are out of state, Skylar is a legend. He does our announcing, all right, video feeds for the high school state meet. Known his family for a long, long time. Amazing people. Love to have him here. Can we answer any questions now?
Someone asked, what will happen to the 9 and 10 state meet?
What will happen to the 9 and 10-year-old state meet? Those decisions are made by the Illinois Age Group Committee. So there is a fine group of coaches that collaborate and make the decisions for the youth programs in Illinois swimming.
One more question, and then there's just a lot of people in here that said, love you, Marianne and Dave. The question is, how many coaches will there be there on site?
Oh, wait, on our team? Well, currently we have like 15 coaches. And as the team grows, so will the staff, and sometimes ahead of the game to provide the best experience. So the ratios will be very good.
Anything else you want to tell the folks before we close her up?
I just want to thank everyone who's involved in this, DuPage County, as well as Westmont, the Village of Westmont, the fire department, the police department, Waterworks. You guys have been amazing. We are so happy we teamed up with you. It has been a great experience for us, and we can't tell you how grateful we are to be here. And that's about it from me. How about you, Dave?
Well, I'm probably going to be a little bit more long-winded than you are on this one. Thank you again to the Kaufman family for everything you've done for all of us. It's been a pleasure being able to work through the process with you. But the dedicated commitment, I mean, it's not just somebody that threw money at this. She's here day in and day out. And anybody that experiences a loved one that's going through that, that also means time away from the family. So thank you so much for investing in this project. Oh, and let me spending some money. Yeah. All right. I'd like to also thank our general chair, Jeff Arce, and the board of directors of Illinois Swimming, and all the coaches that have been committed to trying to get us back in the water as soon as possible, and running special programming, including like in another week, Dave Marsh coming on and doing a video feed to inspire our athletes. And all the Illinois athletes that have made it to the Olympics have been on video feeds, try to motivate and keep our kids engaged. Forever grateful for them. As far as a couple of shout outs, Tony Young, a good friend of mine, took me from facility to facility, showed me the best, showed me some things that might have been a little bit better, some things that are afterthoughts. Learned so much in the process. Luke Day, University of Minnesota, Mark Long, University of Iowa, and the boys at IUPUI. They've allowed us to come out and take a view of the things that they have done, the recommendations. The best thing about USA Swimming is that information, whether it's from the technical side, the coaching side, the developmental side, is always free flowing. USA Swimming, I can't imagine what your job is like. So amazing, everything that you do. Shout out to Mike Unger, good friend of mine, along with Tom Avicius. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I thank you for your vision, Dave, for your hard work. Karen, I want to say thank you so much. I really do want to say thank you to our team. We're not videographers. We are very passionate about this project, and we are looking forward to welcoming guests when it's safe. I want to let everyone know on this call that we will be sending further information, a PowerPoint with all the photos, the video from today, as well as the contact information of who you need to share your information with or learn more about the pool from the Kaufman family, FMC, the Village of Westmont, as well as the DuPage CBB team, from Nuni Aguilar, who's our Director of Sales, and Bobby and Angela, to help with RFPs and any kind of events that you want to host. Thank you again. I hope you're as excited about this project as we have been for years. And I want to say thank you for supporting the hospitality industry in DuPage County, and do more in DuPage.